He is like totally out of it. I'll have to find some way to make him come to. Maybe a good slap would do the trick. Joshua, wake up!
No, Mommy. Please let me sleep 5 more minutes, please. I was dreaming I was a super friend, and I was eating berries in the mountains of Alaska with Dorothy and Toto. It was so beautiful.
You have to remember that password, Joshua!
But I already told you the password, and I know it was the right one because Auntie M said so. You have to let me in. Plus, that treehouse is mine. And if you put your dirty mitts on my Space 1999 trading cards, you'll feel my wrath.
Man, your zipper's open. I can see your Woody.
Daddy, no. I didn't kill little Woody. I swear. He flew into the path of my self-propelled intergalactic rocket on purpose. To break it. That woodpecker hated me, Daddy. The other day, he started pecking away while I tried to study for my math test. And now he screwed up my science project. I hope he's happy now, cause he did. I'm going to flunk science for the first time in kindergarten.
Joshua, it's me, Brian, your friend.
Nice to meet you, Brian. I bet you don't know what that name means. Well, I don't have a clue either. By the way, my name is Joshua, which means liberation. Boggles the mind, huh? You don't know how much love I feel inside.
Trantor's been destroyed by a huge meteor.
No! Say it isn't true!
Yeah, and the berries contain trantonite, which took away your superpowers.
Brian, what you are saying is scientifically impossible. So stop making things up. While I am flattered that you think I have superpowers, you must be wrong. My superior smarts weren't created by any supernatural device. They're just due to the bubbling mix of supercharged genes that gave me an extra large brain. Now, I won't deny that Trantor has sublimated my ripped mental muscles, but I've been a genius since I was a kid. Pretty cool stuff, huh? You know I built a rocket that pierced through the Earth's stratosphere when I was only 8? Well, it would have anyway, if it hadn't been for that fine feathered kamikaze. Stupid air rat.
Sorry, Joshua, I was just kidding. Actually, the government expropriated it and demolished it to build an intergalactic freeway.
Oh, the cruelty, Brian! That is not funny.
Okay, so I was lying. The truth is that Trantor was chosen worst dressed planet of the millennium, but I didn't know how to tell you.
But where do those 2-bit critics get their taste? For your information, Trantor has been exporting its stylish garments to hundreds of planets, including Earth. Who do you think designed Boney M's outfits anyway? And what about the Power Rangers? The human species would still be wearing loincloths if it weren't for Trantorian designers, I'm telling ya.
Of course not, homie. You take it easy and we'll chat later on.
Okay, but cut it out with the scary stories. You're creeping me out.
Okay, if there's any oil inside, I might be able to use it. Looks like it's not full, but there's a little bit inside. I'll take it. I'd rather not take the risk. Who knows? It could blow up at any moment. It has a... no, it's a bit run down. Nah, they're ancient and grimy. The corks would probably disintegrate, and I couldn't open them right. I'll take it, but I hope I don't have to use it on anyone. In that condition, it may not cut anyone, but it'll give them a nasty infection. Well, I guess it's for the best. I'll attempt to go find help to get us out of this crazy mess. Okay. Too bad. It's empty. It's in pretty good shape for being abandoned outdoors. Especially if you consider it has more dents than a junkyard special and a few wheels less than required by law. I'll go see if I can find the guy I saw coming toward here. Hello there, my friend.
Hello.
My name is Brian.
Wazowski. Ben Wazowski.
Pleased to meet you, Ben. I couldn't stop to say hi before because I had to take my friend to that shelter down there.
Yeah, I saw you two. What? So you needed to warm up a bit and you went overboard on the whiskey, huh?
No, not at all. He was fine until he ate some berries from a shrub.
Some big red juicy berries that look like cherries?
Yeah, those are the ones.
Don't say another word. I bet he's dizzy, has muscle aches, a hallucination, short-term memory loss.
Exactly. How did you know?
I've been observing the behavior of bears for years, and I see how they react when they ingest those berries, which they love, by the way. I myself have tried them on occasion for experimental purposes. The effects take several days to pass, unless...
Unless what?
Salmon.
Salmon?
Yes, salmon. Eating salmon practically counteracts all the effects of those berries. I myself have experienced it.
Well, that's good news. So I just have to get my friend to eat some salmon and it'll go back to normal?
Yep, that's it. Well, but there's a little detail you have to know.
What?
The salmon will only work if he eats it raw. In my earliest experiments, I tried cooking one over a fire with some W ketchup as a condiment and freedom fries as a side dish, but it was no good. Tasted fantastic, but it wouldn't counteract the effects of those berries. At first, I thought there was some difference between humans and bears' digestive systems, but then I got the idea to eat it raw, like a bear.
And what happened?
It was completely different. It tasted much better on the grill.
I meant about the effect of the berries.
Oh yeah, they completely disappeared.
Listen, Ben.
What's on your mind?
Impressive costume.
Well, it isn't exactly a costume. It's actually a bear suit, but I haven't finished it.
Well, like I was saying, a bear costume.
I don't like you calling it that. Makes it sound like it's not serious. Costume sounds like it's for a party, and these are my work clothes. Actually, it has more in common with a camouflaged uniform, more than a mere bear suit.
Yeah, now that you mention it, you're right. But the only bears with glasses that I can remember were in a fairy tale book.
No siree, I wear them because I'm as blind as a bat. Plus, the bear suit is incomplete. I asked the guy from the pizzeria in Sicily, the closest city to here, to order it from the same website he bought his moose suit at, but they sent it without the head. And so I asked myself, what is a bear without a head?
I don't know. The extra part of a hunting trophy?
No, my friend. A bear suit is the same as a certain death. If I make my way into the pack looking like this, the bears will say, "That one there, he isn't one of us." And whammy, they'll pounce on me, rip my head off with a paws. So I have to postpone my plans until they send me the missing head.
So, how did you get into bears?
I used to play ice hockey on a pro team. You know, we go on a tour throughout Asia every summer. But one day, after a big fight, that left me in a daze. I got sick of it all. I escaped from the hospital, went home, started surfing channels, and without realizing it, I watched a whole movie about a bear that danced with bananas on its head. Afterward, they put on a French movie about an orphan bear. I cried my eyes out. Then, I took a walk to get some fresh air, and I ran right into a billboard that showed a polar bear enjoying a soft drink. I got thirsty, so I tried to go into a coffee shop, but some doormen came out in these strange leather outfits, and they said, "Out of here, man. This place is for bears only." What a world, huh? 2 hours later, I grabbed my suitcases, hopped on a plane, and came to Alaska in search of my destiny.
So, have you been living here for very long?
Pal, it's been a few good years, but I couldn't tell you how many. Somewhere I have that deed from when I bought the house from the ranger. Maybe it has the date if you're that interested.
Seems like a nice place to live, as long as you like being alone.
Lonely, you say. No, amigo, no. Bears are unbeatable companions. Much better than most people. Then there's Satch, who brings me pizza once in a while, and we play Parcheesi together. Plus, some folks just randomly show up, like you today. Have you seen that little plaque I have in my room? Some Spanish fisherman who passed through less than a year ago gave me that.
So, even though you have your work with the bears, don't you ever get bored?
Idleness is the tool of the devil, Brian, and I don't have time for him. The few free moments I have for myself, I spend drinking some beer from my keg or playing the guitar for a spell. Since I know nothing about music, I have a great time making funky noises.
About what you said regarding your costume.
It's a bear suit, Brian. A bear suit.
Those claws on that backpack look pretty realistic.
Ah, but the claws are the most important part of the bear. They're used for defense and for fishing salmon during the season when they swim upstream. Well, that's what my book says anyway. I want to prove a revolutionary theory, though. What is that theory, you ask? Well, sorry, but I can't tell you. You look like a nice guy, but who knows if you'll go sell the story to National Geographic afterward. Nope, my friend, I'm sorry, but I can't.
Could you repeat what you said about bears fishing with their claws, please?
Well, my friend, that's the simplest thing in the world. First, they look for a hole in the ice, or they make one themselves. Then, they wait for a salmon to swim by, and bam! They dip in those claws and tear one out of the water. I've tried it a couple of times, but I'm just not talented at it. I'm more into fishing with a pole.
Could you show me how to fish like a bear?
I'd be delighted to, but I'm way too busy. Plus, I only understand it on a theoretical level, like I said. Practice makes perfect, they say, but my schedule is full.
What time of year do the salmon swim back upstream?
Oh, it lasts almost half the year, from mid-spring to well into the fall, so the river is teeming with them now. But be careful with that ice, 'cause it can crack. And some careless bears have ended up at the bottom of the river.
I hope you can prove your theory as soon as possible.
Well, I'm on the verge. Everyone believes bears scratch their backs against trees because they itch. But it isn't true. Look, we humans didn't discover the properties of birch sap until 20 years ago, and they've known for centuries. And that's as far as I can read.
Could I borrow a fishing pole?
I could if I had one. But the last time I went fishing, I accidentally pricked a cub in his private parts with a fishhook. I don't think it did him much harm, but boy was he mad. He chased after me till he wore out. We ran in circles for hours around Professor Simon's house. When I got back to the river, my fishing pole was gone. I never saw it again.
What really shocks me is your bear costume.
There you go again. Didn't I tell you it isn't a costume?
What will you do when you finish making the bear suit?
What am I gonna do? Infiltrate the group and demonstrate my theory about... No, I better not tell you. Anyway, I'll be joining the Den of Bears, and they'll think I'm one of them. Will the suit be good enough, you're asking? Well, no, but I can pass it off if I put some bear essence perfume on first. I make it myself.
Bear essence? Don't tell me you liquefy bears to make perfume.
No, pal. I make the essences using bear droppings. I won't be so rude as to explain all of their bodily fluids, hairs, and the solid waste they produce. But I will tell you, I need gloves and my hockey mask to gather it all up.
How many kinds of bear essences do you have?
I have essences of newborn cub, she-bear in heat, Republican bear, ferocious bear, Buddhist bear, myopic bear, honey-loving bear, papa bear, the bear by the strawberry tree, an ant-eating bear, a bear with a gastric disorder. Oh no, sorry, I drank that one on accident. Intellectual bear, and who knows how many more.
More than the essences? What I like is your costume.
But will you never learn to call my suit by its proper name?
I have nothing against bears, Ben, but your lecture about them was a little over my head.
No, man, don't you worry. We all have our little flaws.
Do you know Professor Simon?
The guy in the big house up there? Not very well. I've seen him hiking around from time to time, and once in a while I walk by his house, but we haven't chit-chatted much. I think he's kind of a loner.
By the way, you wouldn't happen to know the password to get into Professor Simon's house, would you?
Password? What I usually say is, "Hey, Chow, I've come for my weekly package." Then I go in, grab the package of bear food the cook makes me, and hasta la vista. You may be asking yourself now, sure, it's for the bears and not for good old Ben himself? Well, it is. It's for the bears, and I can't believe you think that of me.
Could you tell me if there's more than one door leading into his house?
I can assure you it's not true. The wall goes around the perimeter of the house, and the only gate is the one by the intercom. I'm telling you, I went all the way around it with a mad bear in hot pursuit behind me.
You think they'd open up if I pretended I was you?
Since there's a camera as well as the intercom, and it wouldn't be good enough just to say you're me, I get the idea you're asking yourself. Will Ben lend me his bear suit so I can pass for him? Well, let me make things clear. The bear suit is sacred, and I don't lend it to anyone for anything in the world.
I think I can sneak into the house if I hide while you talk on the intercom.
You had a stroke of bad luck. I only get in thanks to the cook, but I saw him heading for Sicily this morning, like he always does on his day off. And he won't be back until at least tomorrow morning.
Getting back to what I was saying.
Yes.
Getting back to the topic of those berries and the salmon.
Uh-huh.
What did you say the effect of those berries was?
I don't know which ones I already mentioned, but they include dizziness, weak muscle, short-term memory loss, hallucinations, regressing back to your childhood.
Tell me how the salmon works as an antidote to the berry-induced intoxication again.
Actually, it's no big secret. You grab a raw salmon and chow down. End of story. You instantly get your memory back, your headache goes away, and on top of it all, you feel as giddy as if you'd had one whiskey too many.
Thanks, Ben, but I think you've told me all I need to know.
Okay, pal. What more can I do you for?
Forget it. Get back to your work.
Okie dokie. You know where to find me. If you don't see me around here, it's because I'm at home. You'll recognize the house. It's a typical ranger's cabin, raised several yards off the ground. Come by whenever you want. That way, you can try my homemade beer.
Thanks, Ben. See you around.
Okay.
What an unusual plant. I wonder what it's called. I can't take the whole plant. I'd have to uproot it and kill it. But I will take one leaf. I'll take it to my pal Rutger. He'll think it's way cool. Yeah, I'll take a look over there. Wow, I've never seen a completely frozen river before. I'll try not to walk across it just in case the ice breaks. I'm gonna go check on Joshua. Darn. He seems to have fallen back into a dreamlike state. I'll have to shake him up a bit again. I'd better...
Are you square?
That won't do any good. It's somewhat dry, but doesn't seem to break apart easily. Listen, Ben.
Well, what's on your mind?
Getting...
Uh-huh.
Tell me how the salmon works as an antidote to the berry-induced intoxication again.
Actually, it's no big secret. You grab a raw salmon and chow down. End of story. You instantly get your memory back, your headache goes away, and on top of it all, you feel as giddy as if you'd had one whiskey too many.
Thanks, Ben. But I think you've told...
Okay. Okay.
Darn. I'll have to shake him up a bit again. Joshua, wake up!
No, Mommy. Please let me sleep 5 more minutes, please. I was dreaming I was a super friend, and I was eating berries in the mountains of Alaska with Dorothy and Toto. It was so beautiful.
You have to remember that password, Joshua!
But I already told you the password. And I know it was the right one because Auntie Em said so. You have to let me in. Plus, that treehouse is mine. And if you put your dirty mitts on my Space 1999 trading cards, you'll feel my wrath.
Man, your zipper's open. I can see your Woody.
Daddy, no. I didn't kill little Woody. I swear. He flew into the path of my self-propelled intergalactic rocket on purpose. To break it. That woodpecker hated me, Daddy. The other day, he started pecking away while I tried to study for my math test. Now he screwed up my science project. I hope he's happy now, cause he did. I'm going to flunk science for the first time in kindergarten.
Joshua, it's me, Brian, your friend.
Nice to meet you, Brian. I bet you don't know what that name means. Well, I don't have a clue either. By the way, my name is Joshua, which means liberation. Boggles the mind, huh? You don't know how much love I feel inside.
Trantor's been destroyed by a huge meteor.
No! Say it isn't true!
Nothing's happened to Trantor. You just need to eat some raw salmon to remember the password.
Raw salmon? A lunatic wouldn't eat that.
You have to do it. It's completely necessary.
Well, guess what? I'm not gonna.
Not even with some W ketchup and freedom fries?
Yuck! I can't stand ketchup. What I really like doesn't go with salmon. I'm more of a fiend for chocolate, shakes, vanilla ice cream, donuts, peanut butter, apple pie, maple syrup, caramel smoothies.
Is there no way to convince you?
No, Brian. I am a civilized person. A decent Tranto-Japanese American. And I don't eat raw animals. You think I'm some sort of polar bear?
Well, if you're Japanese, whatever, you must love sushi, right?
Oh, hi, Brianson. Mackerel, tuna, halibut, octopus. It's almost the only gourmet food I enjoy, besides desserts.
What about salmon? Do you dig salmon sushi?
Well, if there's nothing else swimming around, yeah, I'll eat it with pleasure. By the way, did I mention I'm dying of starvation?
I'll get you a salmon, or my name's not Brian. Don't you worry, you'll be getting ready for the most delicious plate of sushi you've ever had in a jiffy.
Oh, dear Brian, we geniuses don't cook. If nobody's around to make our meals, we just order out for pizza or bite our nails. But under no circumstances would we waste any time on something as mundane as cooking.
Wow, he was hard to convince, but this is better than nothing. I have no choice but to look for someone who will teach me to make salmon sushi. I'll take one piece of firewood. Oh, it weighs so much I can't imagine taking them all. Listen, Ben.
Well, what's on your mind?
You wouldn't happen to know how to make sushi, would you?
Well, as you guessed, I don't know how. And go figure, because I've been to Japan a couple of times, but I know nothing beyond traditional cooking. In steak with mashed potatoes, I have eyes for nothing more.
Do you know anyone in this area who knows how to make it?
If anyone would know about that, it's Professor Simon's cook. I think he's from China, somewhere around there. But today, here's his day off, so I doubt you'll find him around. Well, then there's Archibald, but if I were you, I wouldn't want to meet him.
Archibald? Who's that?
Some say he's either Bigfoot, a serial killer, a 200-pound gremlin, or a war criminal. People say the darndest things. Satch, the pizza guy from Sicily, says he saw him a short while back. He was coming to deliver some pizzas to me when he heard a noise in the back of his pickup. When he got out, he saw a running shadow and chased it until he lost sight of it. When he returned to the pickup, they'd stolen the pizzas and opened up the engine. He couldn't get the pickup started, so he had to leave it around here somewhere. He's sure it was Archibald, but actually it could have been anybody.
Do you know what Archibald looks like?
The last thing I heard is he's 6'7", has a flat head, green skin, and a body full of scars.
Do you have any idea how I can find him?
No, pal. You don't find Archibald. He finds you. You may be asking yourself, why is Ben saying that? Well, because that's what happened to me. Not once, but twice.
So, you say you've seen Archibald?
No, amigo. I didn't tell you I had seen him, but that I'd been with him. As for seeing him the way I see you now, never.
what happened the first time you met Archibald?
The first time? Oh yeah, it was Christmas Eve. I picked up my guitar, went out on the balcony, sipped down a mug of beer, and started singing A Christmas Carol. I hadn't finished the first bar when I felt a sharp object in my back, as a whispering voice told me,
John Lennon sang Christmas carols much better than you, and look where he ended up. Your end may be much more cool and imaginative.
I stopped playing and asked, You're Archibald, aren't you? But there was nobody there.
What happened the second time he found you?
I was sitting here having a beer when I recognized his voice.
I'm going to give you some emergency anesthesia. If you move, I'll leave you dumber than you are now.
I felt something hit my head, and I fell to the floor. When I woke up, I saw I'd been blindfolded. Well, actually, I didn't see it, but you get my drift. I said, Where am I? Who are you? What do you want from me? I thought my kidnapper was a competing bear scientist, so I yelled, You'll never get me to tell you my theory, no matter how hard you torture me. But that wasn't the deal. He said his name was Archibald, and that he was a chef. He just invented a tarantula venom salsa, and he wanted to experiment with me to see if the venom was still poisonous after being boiled. Thank goodness it wasn't. But it was quite a laxative.
You have no clue about where his house is?
Well, no. I've scoured the area many times, but I can't ever seem to find it. I'm starting to suspect he lives in a hole, like a bunny rabbit.
Well, let's stop talking about Archibald for now.
As you wish, but don't ever call him Archie. He gets mad with rage.
Forget it. Get back to your work.
Okay.
A conifer forest. Pretty common in this part of Alaska. That must be the cabin that Wazowski was talking about. I'll go take a look. Nah, better leave it where it is. If I need it, now I know where to find it. I'll just take a quick glance inside. It'd be better to leave the trapdoor open. Well, so this is what Wazowski's hidden den is like. Let's see what we can find around here. Sure, I bet I can use it somewhere. It's as good as new. I'll try not to wreck it. Man, that's a great idea. If I play the right song, maybe I can get that Archibald guy to show up. The only holdup is that I have no idea how to play, but hey, it can't hurt to try. I'll step outside so I can be heard better. The light from this lamp will come in handy. Here we go.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun is it to ride on a horse open sleigh? Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun is it to ride on a one-horse open sleigh?
Hey, you!
Darn. Wait for me to...
That's too bad. His nose didn't even bleed.
Can you tell me why you just tried to do me bodily harm? Forget it. I don't feel like arguing. You must be Archibald from what I've heard.
Well, you must be a moron. And from what I've heard, a worse guitar player than your father.
So, how is it you met my father?
From hearing him play on that very balcony there. Or isn't your pop that bird brain with the bears?
No, I believe you're mistaken. Wazowski's not my dad.
I'd swear you guys were family. I find it hard to believe backward evolution is widespread among humans.
Hey, he doesn't look like...
The same ape-like expression on your face, the same lack of musical knowledge, and bad taste from the look of your clothing. No, there are just too many coincidences.
Listen, Archibald, I'm warning you that...
All right then, let's look at it from a more entertaining perspective. I know a game called Give Me One Reason Why You Shouldn't Die at this very moment. You'd like it. The end's supposed to be a killer.
You have to help me. My friend got sick from some wild berries, and you're the only one who can whip up the antidote.
You got the wrong idea about me, mister. Even though I'm smarter than most of them, I'm not a doctor.
Wait a sec.
How much? Times with you seem to last as infinitely as your stupidity. They have no end.
I've heard you're a whiz in the kitchen.
Mister, I am much, much more than that.
Where'd you learn to cook?
By cooking. How else do you think people learn? But of course, I studied at the finest schools in Paris with the greatest chefs. All I can say is, though, they learn more from me than me from them.
You must have worked in the finest restaurants, I'm sure.
Yes, all the ones they won't let the likes of you into. But I grew tired of half-baked cooks stealing my recipes and using them to get the best reviews in the Guide Michelin.
The truth is, looking at you here, it's hard to picture you in a white apron and a chef's hat.
Hey kid, I can easily picture you in a shroud lying in your coffin.
Anyway, getting back to what I was saying,
Good lord, what an annoying person. If I'd known, I would have acted like a sane individual and made you swallow that bleach.
I need you to tell me how to make sushi.
I don't have to explain anything to you. Did you explain to me about the expired syrup they gave you when you were born?
Do you know Professor Simon?
The best thing I can say about him is I hardly know him. He doesn't bother me with nonsense, and he doesn't make a bunch of noise with a guitar. The guy is nice and quiet in his mansion, doesn't bug anyone or show his face. Now that I think about it, I kinda like him.
I have money. If you help me out, I'll pay whatever you want.
Well, obviously there had to be something good about you. But I'm warning you, I don't come cheap. And I don't work for scraps.
Are you sure you can't teach me to make sushi?
I've mastered the art of cuisine, but I hate the world of education. You want to learn a trade, commit a crime, and sign up for a vocational course in prison. When they let you out, you'll know something useful other than fishing soap chips out of urinals, and you'll no longer be a parasite to society.
You charge that much for your services?
Price is a relative concept, kid. It depends who asks me, what they want, when they need it, and more than anything, what side of the bed I woke up on.
Are you familiar with making salmon sushi?
Does the Pope pray? Kid, you stand before the former chef of Japan's Imperial Palace, the man who introduced the West to sushi, tempura, and sake. And if that's the dish you want, it won't cost you a cent.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Yeah, because I can refuse to make it for you. I only work my cooking magic when I'm given each and every one of the proper ingredients, and I'm missing some essentials for sushi.
What ingredients go in sushi?
I don't see why I should tell you, but okay. It contains rice, nori algae, soy sauce, wasabi, ginger, a touch of sugar, a dash of salt, and in this case, salmon.
Which ingredients are you missing?
The salmon to start with, the nori, the wasabi. No, I guess I could achieve a similar effect if I mixed Dijon mustard with apple vinegar and some mint toothpaste. I think I have some soy sauce and ginger around here, so that would be it. Well, I don't have any chopsticks either, or a bamboo mat for rolling up the maki sushi.
I'm not 100% sure of all the ingredients that you're missing, but I could try to find them somewhere around here.
You don't know what the salmon, nori, chopsticks, and bamboo mat look like? Your lack of culinary culture is at par with your IQ. Look around if you want, but I doubt you'll find them all.
Getting back to what you were saying,
You really like to analyze things in depth.
if we were to get all of the ingredients, how much would you charge me to make one dish of sushi?
That depends, kid. How much have you got?
My first thought is I have nothing. Will that be enough? Hey, did you hear me? I said I don't have anything on me.
If you have nothing to offer, I have nothing to say, and of course nothing to make for you. Can't you get that into your head?
Well, I do have a state-of-the-art cell phone with a 3CCD camera. It also hooks up to the net by WAP, has an MP3 player, a hairdryer, a GPS tracker, and a C3PO universal translator.
A phone? Who would I want to talk to? Plus, the cameras in cell phones can be activated by remote control, and the CIA guys are no dummies. I'd rather keep an eye on you, just in case one day your idiocy grows to dangerous levels.
It's not about what I have on me, but rather what you'll be taking away with you. I will make you the recipient of my eternal gratitude, my lifelong friendship, and my unconditional love.
Save it for when you try to hook up at AA or the Salvation Army or wherever you end up rotting. I only want money, or you can take your god-awful music elsewhere.
I think I've got about $1,000. Is 50 okay?
No, 1,000 will do for me. It's a done deal, kid. You get the salmon, the mat for rolling up the sushi, the chopsticks, and the algae. And I'll take care of the rest.
Are you ready? My questions are somewhat personal.
Well, in that case, we could start playing our old game again, but backward. Every time you open your mouth, you give me another reason to feel sorry for your pathetic self and put an end to your sorry, meaningless existence. Considering the vegetative state of your brain, it would be a true act of euthanasia.
Are you barefoot because you don't own any shoes? Or did you make some sort of vow?
Is that what you think? Well then, let's just say I made a promise never to reveal why I go barefoot. Go figure that one out, kid.
It looks like your shower isn't working right. Or your washing machine, for that matter.
You're calling me a pig, aren't you? Well, get over it. I smell like myself, like a human being. In other words, what I'm supposed to smell like. If I'm not mistaken, you smell like body milk, shaving mousse, aloe vera gel, conditioner, artificial aromas B303, F507, and H452, along with any perfume made from camel's sweat that happens to be in fashion. Conclusion, the only dirty pig here is you, and you spent a fortune to get that way on top of it.
Wazowski says you hit him, blindfolded him, and gave him tarantula venom.
Wazowski is an imbecile. He was so drunk he fell down the stairs in his own house, so I threw him over my shoulder and dragged him back up. I put a wet rag on his forehead and eyes to lower his fever, but the guy started to get delirious and spewed a bunch of nonsense about his theory on bears. Then I made him a nice broth out of Terra brachula, a harmless brachiopod, and left him sleeping. The rest is a product of his moronic imagination.
Do you know Wazowski's theory about why bears scratch themselves?
I'm not just familiar with it. The theory is actually mine. I'm the one who discovered that female bears in heat scratch birch trees to get the sap out. It's as sweet as honey and can be used to make syrup. I noticed that right afterward, they rub their back against the tree to get all covered in it. Then a bear comes along, smells her back, gets on top of her to enjoy the delicacy, and well, nature takes care of the rest. But I don't care about Wazowski stealing the theory from me. I'm used to that kind of thing. Plus, the poor devil has to get some kind of enjoyment.
I think we should talk about more important things, Archibald.
I shudder to think what type of things are important to you.
Thanks, Archibald. I'll be seeing you.
That's a true threat coming from you.
But how will I find you?
Just whistle, if you know how. But you'd better not bother me
Thanks.
without a good reason.
This feels like one of those old movies. If I whistle, he'll come running. What a nut! Great. The important thing is to focus on getting the ingredients this guy needs to make the sushi for me. It's occurred to me that this leaf I picked up for Rutger could be used as nori. What a relief. One less thing to worry about. It's not the most ideal tool, but if I cut it in just the right spot, maybe I could carve something resembling chopsticks. Well, it can't hurt to try. Look at that. I did a pretty good job. I doubt I'll be needing them. And if I need to walk on ice sometime, I could always turn to the good old tennis racket technique, or use anything resembling it. It might contain something interesting. It's locked shut with a padlock. I can't open it, there's a padlock. Seems to be made of oak or some similar wood. Those look like perfume bottles.
Newborn bear essence, pheromones of she-bear in heat, Republican bear extract.
They appear to be the essences that Wazowski was talking about. Now, don't take this the wrong way, but I bet some she-bear in heat pheromones could come in handy. I'll have to make sure not to spill a single solitary drop. Smelling like that goop with wild bears roaming around is the last thing I need. The piece of firewood I took before was truly useful. I'll take another. You never know. This piece of wood seems to be one of the lightest. I don't know. It might be a little heavy, and I'm starting to get tired of hauling junk all over the place. Though, on the other hand, this is one of those pieces of junk that could save my day at some point. Anyway, by lifting a bunch of junk like this, I won't need to join a gym. Wow, man. As far as I can see, the fuel gauge is at 0. Well, I'll grab the thing. After all that effort to get it into my pocket. Bright idea. I could use it as a mat to roll up the sushi. It'll be easier to carry if I roll it up. Okay, let's go on out. This kind of thing always seems to prove handy. I'll take it. In the end, it's the simple things in life that turn out to be the most useful. Yeah, I think I've earned it. It isn't full, but there's quite a bit left. Luckily, it's closed tight and didn't break when that nutcase threw it at me.